Nobody wants to talk about it. But lust is silently eating away at the heart of the modern church. And if you're honest, you've felt its pull too. The shocking truth is that while sermons are preached and hands are lifted in worship, behind closed doors and hidden screens, lust is destroying destinies, breaking spiritual authority, and making prisoners out of people who should be walking in victory. The enemy knows that if he can corrupt your purity, he can compromise your power. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 25 warns, "Do not lust in your heart after her beauty or let her captivate you with her eyes." Yet in this generation, the seductive spirit of lust isn't just lurking outside the church walls, it's sitting in pews, standing on platforms, and hiding behind religious language. It disguises itself as harmless flirting, secret fantasies, Instagram scrolling at midnight, and unchecked desires that no one else sees but God. The enemy uses lust because it's the fastest way to separate a believer from the presence of God without them even realizing it. It begins small, but grows like a weed in the soul, choking out hunger for holiness and replacing it with private obsession and spiritual numbness. Many Christians don't realize that unchecked lust leads to spiritual blindness. You can't hear God clearly. You can't sense His warning. And you start making reckless compromises because your spirit is weighed down by what your flesh secretly craves. One of the enemy's greatest deceptions is making you believe it's just a personal struggle, when in reality it's a spiritual chain designed to silence your authority. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 commands, "Flee from sexual immorality, because every other sin is outside the body. But lust lodges itself in your spirit and warps your identity." It affects how you see people, how you handle relationships, and how you approach God. The hidden danger is that you can be anointed and still addicted, gifted and still gripped by lust, preaching freedom while living bound. The church rarely addresses this because it's uncomfortable. Yet the most dangerous sin is the one you pretend doesn't exist. Lust blinds you to the consequences until it's too late. It destroys marriages, crushes ministries, and leaves believers wondering why their prayers hit the ceiling. And here's the terrifying part. Lust isn't always sexual. It's a spirit of uncontrolled craving for attention, validation, material things, applause. Anything you put before God's will becomes an idol you lust after. That's why James chapter 1 verses 14 to 15 warns, "Each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desire and enticed. Then, after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, gives birth to death." Lust doesn't just steal your purity, it's after your destiny. The shocking truth is that many believers are one unrepentant thought away from destruction. But grace still calls you to repentance. If you're secretly battling lust, don't justify it. Don't dress it up in religious language. Kill it before it kills you. Confess it, starve it, run from it like Joseph in Genesis chapter 39 verse 12. Because your spiritual future depends on your decision today. God can restore what lust tried to ruin, but only if you stop hiding and start fighting.